Hey everyone, it's Argonath here from The Right Way, and I got another article about the mentality of some of these so-called epidemiologists and experts here in New Zealand. Um, and if you're not in New Zealand, you've probably met these people before. Thankfully, their power and celebrity is starting to wane as New Zealand gets much more used to the fact that we have to live with COVID. We are not going to be able to be COVID free. Um, I think the government is also now slowly changing their mind about what they need to do, but people's patience has actually run out. So let's have a look at this article. This is by Roger Partridge from the New Zealand Initiative. A lot of people call this a right-wing think tank. I think of it more as a common sense think tank because they need to take into account everything, not just stuff about COVID. So circuit breaker lockdown needed, but not the one you're thinking of. This is brilliant. Earlier this week, epidemiologist and media personality Professor Michael Baker was reported saying it's hard to imagine any justification for lowering the alert level in Auckland. Now, if you're not in New Zealand, Auckland's daily cases are coming into between 100 and 200 now. So it used to be back in the 20s and 30s number of cases every day, sorry, and now it's up to 200, 300. It's not going up exponentially because our vaccination rates are getting pretty high. And so eventually we are going to have to open up. There's a hard border between Auckland and the rest of the country. You actually have to pass a border control to get in and out of Auckland. This is how ridiculous it's become now that we've got fully enough people vaccinated. In case readers in Auckland think that they've misread that, Baker didn't say it's a tight call, but on balance, the professor said it's hard to imagine any justification for lowering the alert level. So this was written on the 5th of November, and I'm recording on the 9th, just I've been a bit busy, haven't been able to do any videos lately. Forget the hospitality businesses going to the wall, or the hairdressers, beauticians and gym owners defaulting on their mortgage. So at the moment, you can't even go and get a haircut or go to a beautician, but you can go out and do other things like shopping. So they've just lowered the alert level in Auckland to allow you to go shopping, but only a certain number of people are allowed in the shop, and you've got to be fully masked and all that kind of stuff. But you can't go and get a haircut. And the trifling matter of those with missed medical appointments and mere elective surgeries, including at least 133 women who the Breast Cancer Foundation estimates don't know they have breast cancer because of missed mammograms. So this is the thing, right? These bloody epidemiologists, they're always just thinking about COVID, but they don't think about the other things that will kill people as well. Michael Baker never talks about those sorts of things, right? So I'm really glad that the celebrity is waning, because these people need to get out of our lives, exactly what Roger Partridge is actually saying. Forget also that when he uttered those words from his ivory tower in Wellington, 80.3% of Aucklanders across the 3 district health boards were fully vaccinated. That is 91.2% have received their first dose. So that's pretty massive, right? So why would you say it's hard to imagine any justification if you're fully vaccinated up to that level? That's the whole point of getting vaccinated. We can return back to some normal, and those people that have chosen not to get vaccinated, I'm not for mandating vaccinations. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that is your choice, but obviously you'll live with the consequences, and we just have to say that there will be some deaths because of COVID. Or that even with the record number of case numbers last weekend, hospitalisation for COVID-19 stood at just 53 across the whole country. Not a huge number of hospitalisations. We have had a couple of deaths, one in managed isolation and one, I think, from someone who was in hospital. And the reports of rising levels of depression across the region, relationship breakouts from households under strain from months in lockdown, and the long-term harm of students missing schools. These are all really important things which these bloody epidemiologists never actually think about when they come out with their tripe, right? Not even the growing signs of civil disobedience seem to have registered with New Zealand's illustrious epidemiologist. He must have missed the 5,000 protesters marching on Saturday. Who knows how many thousands might join the next protest, and this from compliant, non-confrontational Kiwis. And as I'm speaking today, there is another protest being held in Wellington on the steps of Parliament. So I'll bring you another video once we get some more details about what's going on there. So people are getting restless. You can't just keep people locked up for so long. Yet, according to Baker's pronouncement on Monday, none of this counted. What mattered was the delta's R was still greater than 1. This means Auckland case numbers are still rising. This is the thing about these effing epidemiologists and health experts. It doesn't matter about the case numbers, it's the hospitalization rate and the death rate. That is the important thing. And they are not rising exponentially. There will be a small rise, but they're not rising exponentially because of the high vaccination rate. That's the whole point, right? It doesn't matter what the case numbers are. But so too are vaccination rates. From a slow start, New Zealand's vaccination levels will have soon surged into the top quartile of the OECD league table. Auckland is already there. The rest of the world has realised it must learn to live with COVID-19. Aucklanders must also be allowed to do so too. Fortunately, Cabinet's decision on Monday signalled a slight but delayed easing of Auckland restrictions. So we've gone down to alert level 3, step 2. You can go and do a bit of shopping and so on. The government just needs to get around and say, on this date, we're all going into this stupid traffic light system, but that's what we're going to go into. And then from there, we can start to live normally. And Baker's response, predictably, he promptly changed tune. The step down in restrictions would probably be okay. This is the thing, right? As soon as the government says something different to what they're saying, they just change their tune and go with the government because they know that they're not allowed to go against what the government is actually signalling, right? So they change their tune pretty quickly when they can see that the government isn't backing what they're saying. In the 12th week of lockdown, Aucklanders could be forgiven for rolling their eyes. Perhaps then we do need a circuit breaker lockdown, but just for the epidemiologists and modelers, or at the very least we can occasionally put them on mute. Get rid of these epidemiologists and modelers. They've had their time, they've had their celebrity. Go back to the rock you crawled under, all of you people. Everyone knows we need to live with COVID in New Zealand. And we can see that having the high vaccination rates now, it's not causing a massive surge in hospitalizations and deaths in New Zealand. So we do need a circuit breaker from them for forever, basically. We don't want to see them come out again. Just go back to living your comfortable life in Wellington under level 2, not knowing what it's like to live under level 3 for so long in Auckland, getting your paycheck every week from the government, which is us taxpayers. Give us a break, you people. Just go back under the rock you crawled out of. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Have you had enough of these friggin' epidemiologists and modelers? I certainly have. I don't want to hear from them ever again. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give me a thumbs down. If you like my content, please subscribe, as it just helps with the YouTube algorithm. Alright, well, that's it from me. Hopefully I will catch you in the next video.